Hello all. You're looking here. This little dot here. Okay. Hello all. We have been back from Grand Canyon for about 2 weeks, right? And we are recording some videos to give some context to the hilarious, very well documented, if I do say so myself, videos that I took on our trip. So the first one that you are about to watch in this great cinematic experience is us. We were stopped at the train station in Albany Rensselaer. This was on the first leg of the journey. So we were on the Lakeshore Limited. We had been on the train for maybe four hours or something by this point, 3 hours maybe.
August 14th.
Yes,
2021.
It was August 14th. So this video was taken at 6:45 p.m. That's past Mother's bedtime for anyone keeping track.
East Coast time.
Yes, still in East Coast time. And we were waiting for there are two different parts of the Lakeshore Limited. One comes from Massachusetts, which is the one we took, went through Springfield, Massachusetts, and the other one comes from New York City, and they meet at Albany Rensselaer. The New York City train is the one that had the dining car on it. So we were waiting. They had told us we had to wait until Albany Rensselaer in order to have dinner, which we didn't understand. We finally figured out it was because they were attaching the dining car.
Which was well past the bedtime of one of us.
Yes, so Mother in this video is a little tiny bit panicky and, just in a little tiny bit of a crisis because she was so tired and wanted to go to bed immediately. But first we had to have dinner. So you'll see what's happening, but the panic is induced by the tiredness and accompanied by the hunger.
And we also had to get coffee. That is to say, the mother had to get coffee after dinner to collect and save for the desperate early morning waking at 3 a.m.
Very important. So that's what was happening. Our car attendant on this particular leg was, a little threatening, not great. Name maybe was Rhonda, probably wasn't, should have been. She was a little terrifying, not, truly awful, not as bad as the woman in the dining car who probably enjoys like torturing small children in her spare time. But and we finally did have dinner, and the food was pretty shitty, but it happened.
And the frenzy for me to find my flipping mask had to do with the fact that I was desperate for dinner to happen, and we had to be masked, etc.
Yes. Okay, did we include everything we needed to include? We have notes here.
Oh, the first train was called the Viewliner.
Yes, it was a Viewliner train, and it was the Lakeshore Limited.
I think that's all we need.
Yeah, and that's it. So enjoy the video.
Okay, you can tell when she whips out the camera because hysteria is starting up. But where's my other mask, I just...
Brian, come see Miss Sandra at the door. Brian, come see Miss Sandra at the door in room 2.
Do we really need to hear this? Okay, can you just, do you have any idea what my other mask might be? Because if I lost it, what am I gonna do? Do you have any idea? Can you answer me?
I don't want to ruin the video.
Oh, is this a video?
Hello again. It's still us. So this next video is from the first morning waking up on the train. So this is the second day of our trip on August 15th at 6:01 a.m. Still Eastern time, I think. Yeah. This was still on the Lakeshore Limited, with the threatening car attendant and the dining bitch, and we had just woken up. We were about to have brekkie. I am lying, of course. That was a test. Lying in Mom's bed on the lower bunk. I had slept on the upper one, but was lying on the lower one just to film this video and to be with Mama while she was about to brush her tooth. And then we were gonna go have brekkie. We were on our way to Chicago. We were gonna be in Chicago later on this day. So
At which point the time would have just changed
yes,
to Central Time.
yes. So that's what you're about to see. So
Yes, and you will observe that in the Viewliner roomette, did you already say this?
oh,
No, excuse me. Just allow me. There is a toilet and a sink by marked contrast with what we would find on the more generally fancy-assed Superliner, thus named, that we would take on the second leg of our journey, that would not have an in-room toy and sink.
yeah.
The very clever thing about these devices in the Viewliner,
No, go.
is that when the toilet is closed, the whole thing is very cleverly designed. When the toilet is closed, that becomes a step, enabling the upstairs person to get to her upper bunk. How about that? In the second car, you have to pole vault up.
Yes, yes. It is a little daunting, but fun nonetheless. Okay, so enjoy the video. Taking a video of you.
Hello,
Hi.
this is my morning ablutions.
Okay.
We're in Ohio and it's dark outside.
Yeah, we're near Toledo. In Toledo, I think.
Holy Toledo.
We just had our first sleep on the train. And we're on our way to Chicago.
Yes. Yes, we are.
Are you excited?
I am.
I am too.
We get to see the Windy City today.
Yeah.
And he gets to see us.
Yeah. Okay, we'll be back after a commercial break. Hello, welcome back. So this next video was the same day, August 15th, a couple hours later, 2.5 hours later, at 8:34 a.m. in Porter, Indiana. We had our breakfast by then. It's just a little room tour, basically, so you can get a sense of where we were staying. Our beds had been made up, much to the chagrin of the angry
Aforementioned.
car attendant, while we were at brekkie. And so when we came back, the seats were ready to be sat in again.
The very place where I had slept was now 2 facing seats.
Yes, just
Kinda
like magic.
A miracle.
And yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
You will notice the power strip, the all-important power strip that those of us who have so many devices had the good sense to bring. And some of the old people also appreciated that she had brought that.
Yes.
And so the other thing you will notice in the visual transit around the room is the all-important suitcase that was originally intended to make it across the globe to New Zealand, but waited for this trip instead to go partway across the United States. And this suitcase was to have a very sad episode in its life later on the trip, which was that the handle stopped working.
Yes. Yes, real bummer about that.
Yeah.
But, that's all right. We'll get it fixed one day, maybe.
And get over it, perhaps,
Yeah.
eventually.
Yeah. Okay, so enjoy. Taking a video. Just to show our sweet place,
Just entered
Oh no, here, I shouldn't do that. I should do this.
just entered the Central Time Zone.
Yes.
In the state of Illinois, heading to Chicago.
Yeah. That's where I slept last night, but now the bed's all done.
And it's August 15th.
2021.
Or is it the 16th?
So 15th.
August 15th, 2020.
There's our toy.
Okay.
lovely. And there's all their things. There's me. Hello, me. And there's all our stuffs. And there's the hallway. And there's Illinois. Hello. For the fourth video that you are about to watch, we were in, what does that say? Nyota, Illinois, at 6:45 p.m. Central Time. We had left Chicago about 3 hours before this. We were now on the second leg of our journey on the Superliner on the Southwest Chief with Joy. Oh, Joy.
Yes. Whom we appreciated greatly by marked contrast with the bitch on the
Yes.
first train. And his name actually, it said Joy on his nameplate, so we never knew. Did his mother name him that or what? Okay, go ahead.
Yes, and Joy was a joy. He was wonderful. He was our train car attendant, and he was just so sweet and funny and enjoyed his job.
Attentive.
And, yeah.
The word attendant means when we asked him to do something, he did it quickly and expeditiously and without complaint.
Yes.
Joyfully, even.
Yes. And he therefore enjoyed great tippage from us because he was so wonderful and joyous. So we were on his leg of the journey, and we won't spoil what's about to happen in this video, but we'll just tell you you're going to see something really big and great.
Yes.
And it's not my butt. And
We had been in Chicago previously
oh, yes.
for 5 hours.
Yes, we had a 5-hour layover in Chicago, and we tried in vain to go to a place called something like Wild Berry Pancakes that I had read about online that seemed like a fun breakfast place. When we got there, there were several very long lines. We got in one of them, and after several minutes, it was blazing hot by this point. We were in the heat. We had walked about 1.5 miles, and the person said, that'll be about an 1.5 hour wait, something like that, for a table. And so we said, okay, thanks anyway. We had a little, breakdown. And then we went back to a restaurant we had seen on the way there called Roanoke, which turned out to be very delicious. And yeah.
And that we would be revisiting later in the trip. Stay tuned.
Yes, this is what we call foreshadowing here in the film industry.
That's right. And while we were waiting to cross the thing that you're going to see, the train had to be stopped because of a barge.
Yes.
And while we were sitting there, very sweetly waiting for the moment for the train to start up again, we got to see lots of fun water birds that may or may not have been egrets.
Yes, and they were gorgeous, and it was very wonderful, and yeah, so, okay, enjoy.
Think of us on the Connecticut going from shore to shore.
I know.
Paddling.
Where are we, Mama?
We're on the Mississippi River.
Yeah, we are.
We just saw a barge.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, that's the barge. There it is, folks. It's way out there. You can barely even see it anymore.
Yeah, it is the same, isn't it? It's a BFR.
Big fucking river. Hello again. This next video was taken by me. I was alone in the observation car. This was on August 15th, later in this same day. We were going through Missouri. It was 8:30 at night. Mom had already gone to bed, and I decided to go sit in the observation car for a little bit. I drew on my iPad for a little bit, and then just had some sweet time listening to music and thinking about what's ahead for me in school and feeling more okay about it. And just watching the sunset and having a sweet time.
And you may notice that there are not a lot of these videos that have nighttime sights, and that has something to do with the old lady sleep schedule.
Okay, so enjoy.
Not extra limited. Watermelon. And I like watermelon.
Hello, you take it away, Mom.
We're in Kansas, 8:20 a.m. on August 16th, and visible are telegraph poles, long since unused.
Yes, we were sitting in the observation car for this. So it's not a lot. It's Kansas, but enjoy. Hello all, welcome back. We've had a wardrobe change.
Because it's gotten warmer here in this early September day. But you might want to make note of the all-important hat that was an important accessory in the place that this trip was all about.
Yes, and when it started to blow off of Mom's head when she was standing near the edge of Grand Canyon while we were hiking, and I wasn't looking at her, and suddenly I heard her scream, "Oh shit!" as a gust of wind came, I was just sure that she had blown off of the side, when it turns out she was just grasping the hat to make sure it wasn't blowing away. Yeah. So I changed my pants, and then we continued. Anyway, the video you are about to watch, we are, the last video, by the way, correction, we were not in Kansas, we were already in Colorado. That was an error.
Quoting Dorothy.
Yes, we were not in Kansas anymore. And so this next video, we are still in Colorado. It was right after that video that was just a landscape video. In this particular video, Mom says something, and my reaction to it is a little strange. I was just slightly caught off guard and wasn't really sure what to say in this particular part of the video, but I promise I'm not an asshole. So let's just... Mom begs to differ.
So not an asshole. You don't know how to be an asshole.
Thanks. Okay, so I think that's all of the important information. So, okay.
Did we say... Well, we don't need to say the date because it gets said in the video.
That's true. So so preview of things to come. Okay, enjoy.
A real difference between a new one.
Yeah, for sure. I'm taking a video of us.
Oh.
Hi, this is us. We're here. We're in
Yes.
Colorado?
I think so, unless we're...
We might be in New Mexico or 8:30 to Mountain Time. We're 2 time zones away from where we would be, and we're on our way to Grand Canyon.
And it's August 16th, 2021, and it was 50 years ago today that my father died.
Yes. And
Just remembered that.
yes, that's sad. Bye.
Yeah.
Hello, all. Mom's gonna take the lead on this one, but I'll just say she got a little tiny bit twitchy in this one, which is really fun to watch back now. Okay, take it away, Mother.
Okay. This is later on August 16th. It was 1:10 p.m. Mountain Time, and I was
We were traveling through New Mexico. I don't remember if I said that.
and I was trying to redo some of my infrastructure, which which includes where I keep things. Like you'll notice the all-important fanny pack making a cameo appearance, and the wonderful, most exceedingly wonderful thing that Laura lent me for the trip, which is a portable refrigerator, a cooler. And I had some of my all-important healthy things in there, vegetables and fruit and so on, and hummus. And so when I'm trying to redo my packing and so on, if my brain is distracted even a little tiny bit by, say, the presence of a videographer in the room, I'll inevitably screw up some of the all-important repacking, and so that's all I have to say.
Yes, and the videographer's well-being becomes,
Imperiled.
in jeopardy a little tiny bit. But I made it through, as you can see. Yeah. Okay. So enjoy this brush with death.
Are you taking a picture of me?
Continue on.
My teeth are
This
full
is
of
a
food, as
mother
long as I
in
don't
her-
have to smile.
This is a mother in her natural habitat. She's trying to pack, so we shouldn't talk.
I have to say it is distracting to me, and if I'm trying to pack, forget it. I'm sorry. It would have been very funny otherwise. I need to ask you a question when you're able.
Hello and welcome back to the programming. This next video, it was 5:20 p.m. on August 16th. We were in Mountain Time, and we had recently left Albuquerque, the train stop in Albuquerque, where I had gotten off the train. Mom was napping. She took a lot of those on this trip, and I had gone to a little stand that a Navajo woman had set up there at the train station where she was selling some goods that she had made, and I bought this bead bracelet along with some earrings and a little Navajo doll for my mother that shows up in one of the pictures from our trip. Yeah, I think that's about it.
And the Navajo woman would spend her nights in her days in my glasses case that was not being used. It's time for glasses.
That's the doll, not the woman that I bought the things for. We didn't kidnap her and put her in a case with us. Let's make that clear in case this video makes its way to the FBI for some reason.
Yeah, and you'll also see the precious judgments that had been given to me by my daughter for Mother's Day, and they commemorate the beloved Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Yes.
Yes.
And I've recently gotten her new mints that are encouragements from Mr. Rogers.
Of course. And among the animals that we had seen on this passage, but also in many of the other parts of the Midwest, were wild horses.
including baby wild horses.
Oh, yes. Many, many, many free-ranging cows on the vast tracts of land devoted to the free-ranging of cows destined to become meat. But they didn't know that, lucky cows. But we did. We saw deer, which are always wild, aren't they?
Yes, I saw a deer running along in a cornfield in Kansas, maybe, running along the side of the train early in the morning at sunrise. And it was just bounding through the field, and it was just so beautiful and picturesque and peaceful. And
Yeah. And we saw leftovers of previous running creatures that were skulls. Laura was very good at picking those out, noticing them.
yeah.
We saw pronghorn, which are known locally as antelope, but I guess are not really antelope. Laura saw buffalo, biggest land mammal in the U.S. or I don't know. Anyway, big. Looking ahead to the place with the big hole in the ground, we were to see at least one California condor, ever so big. A sweet little lizard whose tail had been deleted, but it was now growing back. And many really aggressive squirrels that actually inflict more damage on the local tourists than the canyon itself.
Yes, up to 30 people a day need to be treated for wounds inflicted by
Stupidity.
squirrels at Grand Canyon, many of whom carry the bubonic plague.
And Laura on this trip saw so many herons. We passed many swamps and so on. She was forever, and rivers, so many places where she was forever spotting herons. I think I finally saw one at the tail end of the trip. And we saw an eagle on the river, on the big river.
And something that looked like a pelican. I don't think there are pelicans up here, but it looked for all the world like a pelican landing on the Mississippi on our way back.
It did seem to be. And Laura saw multiple elk in the canyon. In the village.
Near the canyon, yeah.
I never did, but I'd seen them previously in Arizona.
Yeah. We got to see very many wonderful creatures.
We did. Some of them saw us.
Yeah. Okay, enjoy. I'm gonna submit this to the Cannes Film Festival. You're gonna love this. It's really excellent. Yeah. I'm gonna put the Jaws music to this, and it's gonna be a horror movie.
Okay, that's probably good.
Let's see that thigh, and then we'll be done. Wrong eye. There we go. Perfect. Hello, we're back. In this next video, where are the notes?
I didn't think.
Okay.
Thought you were going to remember.
Okay, it was, I think, 7:52 p.m. We were in New Mexico, about to cross over into Arizona. As you will notice in this video, Mom appears a little bit tired. It's important to listen closely at the beginning of this video. There's a good soundtrack. And the reason Mom was so tired was that we were... Do you hear the bullfrog, everyone? Because we were waiting to get off the train. We were supposed to be getting off at maybe 8:30 or 9, but it ended up being late, so I think we got off more like 10 p.m., which in our bodies was, I don't even remember at this point, but we were very tired, and because we were going to be getting off in we were going to be getting off the train in Flagstaff, Arizona to take a like 45-minute bus. It was one crazy woman in a van. We were
Well, 3.
thought we might be getting kidnapped. Well, that's true if you include us. Who was a little tiny bit of a chatty Cathy. And so we were about to be getting on that bus to go to the hotel in Williams, Arizona, to stay for the first night in a hotel after being on the train. So we were about to be getting off the second leg of our journey to be in Arizona. Is that everything? You didn't take any notes, so I guess it must be.
Probably.
Okay, so enjoy and remember, listen closely. Okay? Okay.
Whisper.
This is just a quick video of the landscape in probably already into Arizona by now, or right about to get to Arizona. Just the pretty landscape outside the train, but right before we're about to get off the train to go to our first hotel. Okay, so we are now about to be in Williams, Arizona. This is the morning of waking up after staying in the Grand Canyon Railway Hotel in Williams. And we have just had our buffet breakfast at the Fred Harvey restaurant, which was right next to the hotel. And there was a great woman there who, you tell about her.
Flipping omelets, making great tips, and so she should have. It's too bad we didn't get a picture or video of her.
Yeah, making three omelets at a time. So while one was cooking, she'd be asking the next person what their order was. And so it was that plus a whole huge buffet of whatever we wanted. So we got some great food.
Yeah.
And then we went to a cowboy show, like a Wild West show, where there were, guys dressed up as the Wild West.
Pretending to shoot one another.
Yeah, and there were, a couple horses, and there was a whole scene, and so that was very fun.
And we watched that just before getting on the Grand Canyon Railway.
Yeah, and so as you see in this video, we are passing a couple guys on horses. So those are the people that have just been in the show, and they will make an appearance later, which we will talk about. And who did we meet on this train, Mother?
Oh, Amber Rose.
Yes.
The most wonderful possible person for us to, there was one person kind of running the show on each car on the way to the canyon, and we got the very best one anybody ever got.
Yeah.
And we found that out because of the marked contrast with the not Amber Rose person on the way back.
Yeah. But Amber Rose was just an excellent tour guide. She was sweet and funny and, knowledgeable, and cue mom crying in a second. But when we got to the canyon, so the train ride was about 2.5 hours, a little less. And as we were getting into the canyon, she
said, as if it were the first time she herself had ever seen it, which was part of her greatness.
She turned and pointed out the window and said, "Everyone look over here, you're about to get your first glimpse of the canyon." And it was just incredible, and we both cried, and it was just, and you could see the excitement that she had for us, even though she's seen it a million times. But she knew that for a lot of us, it was the first time we were going to see it, and she knew how amazing that was going to be for us.
And when we got off the train, I was so appreciative of her and this is when a photograph was taken of us with her by this person.
It was of me and Amber Rose. You took it.
Oh, I knew that. I told her she's brilliant at what she does, because I had so closely observed, and I won't bore you with all the details, but anyway, she was great at what she did. She loves her work, and anybody who doesn't love her work should do something else.
Yeah.
As our second one could attest if she had a brain.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So that's in this video you'll see a few old train cars that are sitting in the train station in Williams that say Grand Canyon on them, and I think they are being restored to be able to be used on the train that we were on.
But our particular train had a modern day engine, which got us there, and so it was just fine.
Yes. But some of them do have our steam engines as well. Yeah. So.
Choo choo again.
Yeah. Choo choo.
Yeah.
Here we are on the Grand Canyon Railway on our trip to the place. And this is a Johnny Cash wannabe terrific guy.
Yes, so there were several musicians that played on the way there and on the way back. And there was someone playing a banjo or something too. I don't think they came to our car. I don't remember. But several people came around to play music in the different cars, and it was very fun. So.
And I think it was this man who you're about to see who later said that we in that car had the very best of the, attendants or whatever her name was. And so the crew also appreciated Amber Rose. And why we didn't get a video of her in action is because we thought we were going to have her again on the return trip, and you just never know anything because we didn't.
Yeah, she thought we were going to have her again too, but it turned out not to happen. So we thought we had more time with our sweet Amber Rose, and it turns out we were wrong.
But we did get a picture of her.
We did.
Enjoy.
Yes. This next video is later in the day, around noontime maybe, on the 17th. And
it speaks for itself.
Yeah, enjoy the view. this next video, it kind of speaks for itself. The only thing to mention is that we point to a place that we think is the start of the trail we're going to be walking down, and we were wrong about that. That place is just a lookout, which we didn't actually end up walking out onto because it was crowded when we got there. But the start of the trail was a little bit further down to the side of the south rim. So, yeah.
Well, that's because they were right there in the corner.
Hi, Mama.
I'm not going to do it.
Where are we?
We're at the big hole in the ground,
Yeah.
the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Marveling.
Yeah.
Maybe do a little bit of the trail we're about to go.
Oh, yeah. We're about to go. We think this is the trail we're about to start walking down. Right over here. We will give updates as they come. Over and out. So this next video is after we had hiked in Grand Canyon, which was incredible. We didn't go down very far because it was hot and, you know, but we wanted to be safe and smart, but we hiked a little bit and it was wonderful.
And we could feel the stress on our bodies that due to the altitude that we weren't used to.
Yeah, and the heat. And there was a sweet girl with her mother who we were kind of hiking near. We're not smoking, by the way. This I can't lift it up, but it's from the mosquito coil. This girl was just adorable, and the woman offered to take a picture of us in Grand Canyon hiking, which is why there's a picture of the two of us that's not a selfie. And after we came back from our hike, I was looking like holy hell, and we really wanted to go to the restaurant called El Tovar, which is a fancy ass like fine dining restaurant right at the rim. So we went in there to see. Normally they only take reservations, but we tried to see if we could just get a table. And I walked in looking like hell, wearing a tank top and shorts, and Mom went to the bathroom, and I asked the woman if there were any open tables, and she said there were. And I said, "Is this okay?" And she just looked me up and down really slowly and said, "There's no dress code, so it's fine." So that was fun. But anyway, we did get a table, and my God, was it delicious food. Yum nums. I had like a really good, like a caprese salad, and
Of which there's a photograph somewhere.
yes. And that was my appetizer. And then I had a pasta, like a pesto Alfredo pasta. And we shared a creme brulee, blueberry creme brulee for dessert.
Yeah.
Yum. Mom had, what did you have?
This really fabulous chowder. Was it crab?
Crab.
Crab meat?
Yeah.
Oh my God. That was the highlight for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she tried to get a golden Cadillac. Thought she was going to. Didn't turn out to be one, but that's fine. We're gonna get one at some point. Anyway, so this video is in the hotel that night. We say in the video.
What little PS about El Tovar?
Oh yes.
We learned it was. It makes a cameo appearance in National Lampoon Vacation, which we just watched last night, just so we could see El Tovar in it.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So in this video, we say we're about to get sloshed because we're drinking little bottles of wine. And about 6 seconds after that, Mom went to bed.
What a surprise.
We did not get sloshed, but we did have a wonderful time. And now Mom has some things she'd like to say.
And we had decided before the train trip that we would take a few nips and small bottles of wine in case we wanted to have a drink on the train. There were some complimentary alcoholic beverages, but we thought we might want more than that. We ended up hardly drinking really, but we did have fun when we did, and so that's what that was. And in the video you'll see the shirt that Laura had gotten that day. That's from the Grand Canyon. Here we're about to have Exhibit A. Oops, and then the spilling of the seltzer. She's her mother's daughter. Here's the shirt. Yes, yes, and
Got 2 shirts there. Mama got me this one, and I also got one that says I hiked Grand Canyon, the Bright Angel Trail. Which
yes,
I did.
indeed. And one of the wonderful things about the room where we stayed was it was within feet of the South Rim. And so we could look out the window and see what was happening over the canyon. My God. And I was about to say this one morning, but there was only one morning we woke there.
So it was the morning after this video takes place.
And there was a guy out there, was, early. There were some people assembled facing a man who was standing basically with his back just to the rim, who was talking to them about the geology of the canyon. We conjectured maybe he was their teacher or we didn't know what. But we were close enough that when we opened the window, we could actually hear a lot of what he was saying. So that was a fun benefit of being so close to the rim.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was absolutely incredible. We got to watch the sun rise, and it was a little bit overcast over parts of the canyon, so there were really dark clouds, but there was also some bright red sunlight coming through, hitting the rocks, and it was just there are no words to describe how breathtakingly just incredible it was. You just have to be there in order to understand it.
And it was chilly that morning. We had thought we might be actually hot at the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
But a lot of the time we were in shorts and so on. But this particular morning, people were bundled up out there listening to that guy talk about the geology.
Yeah, the wind, because the Grand Canyon is 10 miles across, the wind is not broken anywhere for those 10 miles. So it's, it's all of a sudden wind gets really intense there, and so it can be quite chilly when the wind is blowing, and you got to make sure you don't blow off.
Yes. See the book that Laura got in the same store where the shirt was bought, or some store.
Yes, I got a book about people who have died in Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
Which is fascinating. Yeah.
Okay.
Enjoy.
We'll see you there. Well, we got blurry.
We're taking a video.
Oh, you're laughing. Didn't you know we were taking a video?
Yeah, I did. I was laughing at you. We are at the Grand Canyon. And we are at
Well, we're not in the Grand Canyon, but...
That's true, we're on top of it. And we're at the Thunderbird Lodge. I just got out of a showy howie. We hiked in the canyon today.
We saw condors.
Yeah, we
or at
did.
least a condor.
California condor, big ass bird.
Yeah.
A bab.
And then we saw lightning later on there was a lot of rain and we saw lightning in the canyon, but we didn't get rained on.
No, and yes. And all of that.
Or struck by lightning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, it's never too late, I guess. Yeah. Yeah.
You're hurting my head.
Okay, I'm in your head.
No, I said you're hurting my head.
Oh, okay. I'm so terribly sorry.
Where's the little dot?
Right here.
Okay.
Okay. Now that we found the camera, we're going to go now. We're going to get sloshed.
Bye.
Bye. So this is a desert cottontail bunny that we saw on our way. We were walking to the Maswick Lodge, which is where we were going to have breakfast the morning that we woke up at the canyon. Yeah, enjoy. I just saw it at the... I'm surprised we didn't scare it. Yeah, when it just scratches on the backside. Me too. I'm one of those people they were writing about in that article. Yeah.
These mules are on their way to the edge of the canyon, and they're gonna take people on trips down on one of the trails, and that's what they do.
Yeah, they also, I saw in a video or read in an article afterwards that they go down once a day and collect mail so people who are hiking in the canyon can send postcards up from within the canyon up to people at the rim or elsewhere. And so one of the mules' jobs is to carry the mail up each day. So they carry a lot of the supplies as well as humans.
We petted two of these mules this morning.
We did.
Yeah. This is day number 2 of our 2 days in that miraculous place. Can you imagine living here? I mean, the animals that live down there have no idea that it's amazing. It's just home to them.
Yeah.
Here we go again. Yes, Laura, I know you're videoing me again. Okay.
Anyway, so this next video
Wait, this is part of the thing?
is our fans will enjoy it, and we will later. Our this next, so there's a bit of a time gap here where I hadn't taken any videos. We were just enjoying ourselves. So in the interim here, we had taken the scenic train back from the canyon to Williams with no account, not Amber Rose, who was this like
Self-absorbed.
18 or 19-year-old girl who thought she was a stand-up comedian. She wasn't.
She should have sat down instead.
And we were just a little bit exhausted and still kind of wanting to enjoy the canyon and not listen to this girl's stand-up routine. So we had come back on the choo-choo, and then we had a buffet dinner at the Fred Harvey restaurant, the same place we had had breakfast the other day. And then we had gone and stayed a night in the hotel, the same hotel in Williams. And there we figured out that my suitcase, the handle of it had been broken by someone that was handling baggage on the Grand Canyon Railway, which was a bummer. So now the handle doesn't go up and down. So we had a maintenance man come in the hotel and with tools and try to help us fix the suitcase, because we were going to be traveling, for the remainder of the trip and needed a working suitcase. Then he tried and without any luck, so we kind of gave up on that.
This was the low point for Laura of the entire trip.
Yeah, I was a little tired. We were going to be having to get up at 2:30 a.m. and to take the bus back to the train, to get back on the train around 4 a.m. And all of this crisis with the suitcase was happening at about maybe 9 p.m. So you can see why I was having a little crisis. All of the naps Mom had taken.
With all of this with possible risk to my hummus. Stay tuned.
Oh, yes, and you will find out about Mom's hummus crisis. So enjoy.
You start the story over.
I was just processing hummus. Realizing it's possible. I'm trying to hold my panic down to a, but it's possible that I put the hummus in one or the other refrigerator of our last 2 nights, and I somehow didn't get it. So it's possible I don't have the, but if I do still have the hummus, I need to steal a spoon at lunchtime. So will you remind me?
Yes. No explanation needed.
Found, saved.
This is on August 19th at around 10:30 a.m. This is the continuation of the first day back on the Amtrak train. And just a note about the hummus crisis video, that took place as we were having brekkie in the dining car, on the, when we had fairly recently gotten onto that train. We got on at 4 a.m. or something, and I tried to sleep for a while. I don't think I actually succeeded. And then we got up and had brekkie, so that is when the hummus crisis took place. And now this video, oh yes, the important thing about this train is that this was the woman that we called not Joy. It was her train. So there was Joy and there was the anti-Joy. And she was not a lot of fun. Our train car attendant, she had something up her butt and was just attendant. She should not be called an attendant because she was not terribly attentive.
She was only put upon, only ever overwhelmed.
Yes.
Notoriously unreliable.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so she sucked, but we were still enjoying ourselves. So this video, I don't remember if I said it, takes place we're going through New Mexico. Or maybe no, we were already in New Mexico. Yeah. Okay.
Glad you're doing it. Love that we have this capacity and that we're able to do it.
Yeah. Hi.
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 What are we doing?
On that choo-choo train going through New Mexico
Yeah.
and seeing so many nice terrains, and it changes fast. And we've been playing Mad Libs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're coming back from the Grand Canyon. It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood.
Carlos.
Yeah, we're gonna see Carlos in Chicago tomorrow. And that'll be goodness.
Are you still taking the video?
Yeah, but it's of me now.
I was gonna say it looks like it's aimed at the crossword puzzle. I'm so surprised with it. You're gonna see Carlos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful man.
Yeah. Okay. Bye-bye for now. Pictures at 11. So this next video takes place on August 20th at 10:20 a.m. And we have spent a night on the train at this point, and we are headed towards Chicago. We're, I think, about 5 hours from Chicago, where we will be seeing Carlos, my old roommate, that I lived with in Amherst for 4 years.
Who lives and teaches several hours away from Chicago.
Yes. And we had a wonderful time with him when we got to Chicago. We went back to Roanoke, the same restaurant that we had gone to the first time. And we walked around Chicago. We went down to the river walk, and sat there and watched some boats go by and stuff. And it was really nice to see him. And
Not really nice to see the Trump Tower, although it was interesting to see it along the way.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
And there's a little something about broccolini in this one. We had found a real grocery store in the Grand Canyon Village where I had availed myself of some broccolini and some cherries and other wonderful things for
And a
the cooler.
mango.
And a mango. Oh my God.
Mom
yes.
peeled and cut a mango for us on the train.
On the train. It's very cool. Yeah, so the Michael alluded to is Michael Greger, who taught me to eat vegetables and hummus and stuff like that. Oh, and the crossword puzzle makes a cameo appearance and becomes has another use as a screen to block out the muttering old lady on the other side of the room with the broccolini, smoking the broccolini. And we had much fun word stuff. In addition to Mad Libs, there were multiple crossword puzzles, including the sainted and terrifying Friday crossword puzzle, which didn't actually kill us. We did pretty well, considering. And of course, Scramble with Laura's most
Which
wonderfully...
some other people call Scrabble.
Oh, yeah, they don't know anything. Laura discovered before the trip this really wonderfully portable wooden Scrabble game that we had a lot of fun playing, and you never can see in the videos, but the part of the bed infrastructure by day becomes a table between the two facing seats on which, of course, would rest the sacred Scramble game. So we had a lot of word fun on the trip.
Yes. Okay.
Radish.
That's terrible.
No,
Tell me
no.
more about the broccoli.
Excuse me?
Tell me more about the broccoli.
The broccoli.
Broccolini.
She means to say, oh, it's, that's for not joy. It's good for you, and also it doesn't give you cancer, unlike other smokables.
Mmm.
Are we done?
Nope.
Well, it has multiple. What's that word for when you got? It's versatile. It's a versatile vegetable. It's a versatile vegetable. Variously. I don't know. All I
Okay.
do know is Michael would be pleased with me.
Oh, good. That's all for now, folks.
We are now about 2 hours from Chicago. It's about noon, so maybe we're 3 hours from Chicago, something like that. And I had already started drinking. Mother was about to. We were enjoying some of our libations because we had brought so many, and well, not so many, but
More than we had consumed.
yeah, and so we decided to just be sloshed the whole way back. And Mother mentions Fifi, and take it away, Mother,
Yes.
about who Fifi is.
Fifi is just another way of naming not Joy, the most ill-equipped attendant. And Fifi is my nickname, my at-home nickname for the housekeeper I don't have. But sometimes after I've gone to sleep, Laura assumes the persona of Fifi. It's a little bit like Clark Kent and Superman. They never actually see each other, but in the morning sometimes the dishes are, I was going to say they're gone.
Fifi does a lot of breaking and entering. Sometimes she steals the dishes.
Okay.
But at least the dirty ones are gone. So that's good.
Yes.
Okay. Enjoy.
To my perfect pants. It's important to
So
know.
glad I had just started filming when that
I
happened.
know. It's important to know when to stop. It's important to stop when you're ahead. Put these in your suffering soda over there. Okay, that's gonna go into Fifi's unplastic bagged trash receptacle.
I'm filming myself.
It's a nice double shot I get of you. It's reality and the reflected reality. Just one little tiny, 2, 3 little tiny cubes of 7, 12, 14. And this is before the alcohol ingestion has begun. What do we have ahead? What's that noise? Trash thing. Okay. Now, where am I going to put this? That's the question. Are we still filming?
No.
I thought that was a real pig. God, did you see it?
I saw it on the way in.
So we're going to crash into that. God, that truck is going at high speed right toward us. All right, what do I do with this?
This will be our final video. I realized I didn't take any videos on our last leg of the journey. I took some pictures, but no videos. So this video is of us crossing the Great Mississippi again, from Fort Madison, Iowa, to Indiana.
Illinois.
Illinois, of course, is what I was trying to say. And it is a little bit before we got to Chicago to see Carlos. So this is, pretty soon, not too long before we got off the train on the third leg of our journey. So,
And there's a song playing that I dearly love, City of New Orleans. Music played a really significant role on this trip, thanks to this wonderful person here, who had, we were in a lot of terrain, especially in the West, that didn't have good Wi-Fi. Is that the word? Service. And in anticipation of that dire possibility, Laura had prepared and collected on her phone before we went, downloaded many playlists of, including music that she knew I love. And so we had, thanks to her, she had already played multiple times for me, City of New Orleans, which I dearly love, and she knows it. And so even though she had heard it and heard it and heard it, and maybe heard it enough times, when we were actually crossing the Mississippi, and she knew I loved the song so much, she played it generously one more time, so I got to sing along with it while we're crossing the river, and it just says everything about what a big heart my daughter has.
Yeah, thanks. So we brought our little portable speaker. Mother's portable speaker. So we brought that with us. We listened to so much wonderful music. We listened to Rolling Stones and Beach Boys and Cheryl Wheeler and some Third Eye Blind and
that guy you introduced me to, whose music I like a lot, who's been in different bands.
Ben Gibbard of Death Cab for Cutie.
Yeah.
And Tommy Emmanuel.
Oh, whom we're gonna see.
We will be seeing.
Maybe
soon.
I'll be awake, maybe not, but in Boston in October.
Yeah.
At night.
And we listened to so much wonderful music and had such sweet times. It just could have gone on forever. And even though that was the case, we weren't at all dreading coming home. We weren't looking forward to it, as in needing the trip to be over, but we also weren't dreading it coming, and thinking, oh God, it's almost over. At least for myself, and I know Mother is this way too, but it was surprising for myself that I was able to just really thoroughly enjoy the trip and be able to enjoy the moments we were in and enjoy the great food we ate and the great music we listened to and the Scrabble games and the crosswords and all of the different trains we were on, all the different people we met.
Even the ones that we only made fun of.
Yeah. And just the sweet conversations we had and the laughing and the cherishing. And this was all, I'm assuming people who see this would know, but this whole trip was a graduation present for me for finally graduating from college after 13 years.
Not finally.
Well.
Gloriously.
Yeah. And in a few short days, I will be starting a pre-med post-bac program, and then with any luck in a few years I'll be heading off to med school. So
Bravo.
Thanks. It was quite a way to end the summer, my last summer of freedom before the next 45 years in school. And it was just the most incredible trip, and thank you, my dear mother.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. So we hope you enjoy this last video and that you've enjoyed this whole shebang. You can't have possibly enjoyed it as much as we did, but hopefully you got to enjoy it a little.
And feel free to sing along.
Yes, sing along if you know the words. Okay, until next time.
Yeah. Here's the bird that just got hit.
Fine railroad town. It should be in about 50 minutes.
Coming toward us.
As long as this dispatcher runs us.
Oh no, it's not. I think that's an
Ladies
eagle.
and gentlemen, Fort Medicine, Iowa is our final opportunity for that cigarette break. The next opportunity for a smoky treat will be Chicago's Union Station. Thank you for your
Look at what you're
cooperation.
doing.
Enjoy the view.
Yeah, that's an eagle.
Yeah, I thought so,
Holy
but the wings was
shiznits.
funny. Yeah, whatever that brave little sucker was flew right into it, but
Oh, that's a bald eagle.
don't miss the. Wow, you are such an excellent human being. Don't miss the river for the nice thing you're doing for me.
Oh, come on, focus. All right, give me your face. There we go.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
that looks like a pelican. Are there pelicans out here? So you see what I mean?
I think it's a heron.
Oh, it's got a wrong kind of beak for a heron, I think.
Well, I don't know.
Wow, I wonder if they have pelicans here. No, that is not a heron. Look at the beak, how it points down. That's a heron. That's a pelican or
Oh,
something
yeah,
like it.
you're right.
Wow, look at that touchdown.
Take me by the hand, pretty mama, with you all night long. I like to hear some funky Dixieland, pretty mama, come and take me by the hand. Take me by the hand, pretty mama, dance with your daddy all night long. Hear some funky Dixieland, pretty mama, come and take me by the hand.
Oh, there's that little fork we heard we would see.
Oh yeah.
With you
Why
all
won't this
night
focus? Focus.
Funky Dixieland, pretty mama, come and take me by the hand. I wanna honky tonk, with you all. I want to hear some funky Dixieland, pretty mama, come and take me by the hand. Take me by the hand, pretty mama, with you all night long. Hear some funky Dixieland. That was so great. Oh. Thank you for what you're doing. Jesus, it never would have occurred to me.
That way we can have the soundtrack, don't you know?
Oh yeah, little children wave. One of them was saluting. That was hilarious. I always saw a pelican and a bald eagle in the space of 2 minutes, less than.
Yeah. We're gonna need to have a different song.
Well, there's always a city of New Orleans, you know. We didn't get that.
That's true.
Recorded.
Yeah, we'll do that. Okay.
Can't ever have too much of that.
Please. Well, someone will be with you shortly.
You're most excellently multitasking. I don't know how you do it.
Riding on the city of New Orleans, Illinois Central, Monday morning rail. 15 cars and 15 restless riders, 3 conductors and 25 sacks of mail. All along the southbound Odyssey, the train pulls out at Kankakee and rolls along past houses, farms, and fields, passing trains that have no name, and freight yards full of old black men, and the graveyards of the rusted automobiles. Good morning, America, how are you? Said, don't you know me? I'm your native son. I'm the train they call the city of New Orleans. I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done. dealing card games with the old man in the club car. Penny a point, ain't no one keeping score. Pass the paper bag that holds the bottles. Feel the wheels rumbling neath the floor. And the sons of home and porters and the sons of engineers ride their father's magic carpets made of steel. Mothers with their babes asleep are rocking to the gentle beat, and the rhythm of the rails is
Another birdie up
Get
here.
the sign. Oh, to entering Illinois.
We got a birdie up here.
in America.
Flying up there.
Oh yeah.
Say, don't
Oh, and then we got a pretty birdie
I'm
here.
your native son.
Bye.
I'm the train they call the city of New Orleans.
Thank you, darling.
I'll be gone
Finish this off.
500 miles when the day is done.
That, friends, was the Mississippi River.
City of New Orleans. Changing cars in Memphis, Tennessee.